think few things obviously help. Support from family is always a massive. Garima has been instrumental in pushing me and supporting me, and and kids as well. They have sacrificed almost never of our vacations, whether it's in India or anywhere else, has been a non-working holiday. I've always had my phone and laptop along with me, where I have gone on calls while they were doing things. Uh, so they have sacrificed as well, and Garima has been obviously instrumental. I think something which I realized, and this has been over a period of time, has been reflecting, is what I enjoy is when I speak to a business and understand their problem, and then we are able to solve that.
What if I told you the future of work, communication, and learning could be transformed, not in 10 years, but right today, by artificial intelligence? And the person leading that revolution is right here in Sydney. Our guest today is not just talking about AI, he's building it. Meet Nikhil Singh, the founder of two cutting edge AI companies, AI2Easy and Decipher. From automating business processes to helping people digest information in seconds, his work is making AI practical, accessible, and game changing for everyone. With a career that blends entrepreneurship, technology, and a vision for future, Nikhil is here to share how AI is reshaping industries, and more importantly, how kids, students, and young professionals can prepare for this AI powered future. So, whether you are a student, a professional, or just curious about how to thrive in this AI era, you are going to want to listen to every minute of this conversation. Welcome, Nikhil. It's a pleasure to have you as a guest. How are you today?
Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm doing lovely. Finally, the rain has stopped, so we can all see a bit of sunshine and bring that here. Lovely being here.
It's a pleasure to have you as a guest, and we have been talking about it for a long time now, and finally the conversation is starting.
That's correct. Yes,
So,
absolutely.
maybe we'll start with the first question, fun, which is what inspired you to take the lead in entrepreneurship, and particularly in AI?
Oh, uh, entrepreneurship. I think my journey with being an entrepreneur started when I joined a early age startup in around 2004 2005.
Okay.
That was when I was working with Bell Labs, and one of my friends, he joined a startup at that time, which was not heard of in that era. And everyone was saying, why would you leave such a amazing company and join a startup? But what kind of pushed me that on that path was the feedback loop. If you can, so what I mean by that is, when in a large organization like Bell Labs, the code or things which we built, by the time we saw that, it used to take years. But when we worked in a in a part-time manner in a startup, whatever we built, whatever we code we wrote, you could see the result of that in few days. And that dopamine kick of what you're building and what you're seeing coming back quickly kind of gave that initial kick. Oh wow, what you're building, you can see how people are using them and giving feedback. That kind of started me in that direction. So that's how I kind of ventured into the startups, and since then never looked back. So that is how I got into entrepreneurship. Um AI, I think, was a bit, it has been there for a long time as machine learning. Previously, we did few projects in machine learning, and that the quantum jump of efficiency, when you saw that coming through, we did a project where, you could identify the objects in an image and use that to, understand whether the work is actually being done or not. That quantum jump of what that information image had, and how it could help the business, was kind of an eye opener. And he's like, you could do so much with information which is hidden in so many places, whether it's inside documents, whether it's inside images, whether it's in videos. And that one kind of triggered saying that why not let's explore things which are encrypted in that documents and different ways and extract them and help understand that value out of them. So that's how the whole AI journey started off.
That's fantastic. And look, you just talked about work being done in a long time, then few days, and now in few minutes. Right? We'll touch upon that later.
Yes, absolutely.
But I want to know more about what were those defining moments that inspired you to start your two AI companies, AI2Easy and Decipher. So maybe we can talk about how the names came in and what are you trying to do through those companies.
Absolutely. Uh, Decipher, as the name suggests, it's helping you decipher, deciphering the information. And that's what the whole idea of the name was, and that's what the business is. It kind of understands long form no, content, whether it's video, audio, your webinars, podcasts, whatever. Once you put into the system, it understands it semantically and then be able to generate any insights from there, or you can have a conversation with that as well. It's like, you know, in past, you always had a one-way conversation with any kind of a document. What we, what the goal or the mission with Decipher is that can you have a conversation with any content? So, assuming this podcast, you hear that and you'll understand. But now, if you wanted to ask something, what would be Nikhil's thought or what would be Abhi's thought on this? And you ask that question, and it'll, based on your whole podcast, if you give some inkling or some insinuations about what that might be, that's where it becomes very interesting. So that's how the whole Decipher journey started.
Wow, that's amazing. And I did have a look at Decipher few days back, and it is so easy to just log in and start working on it. The learning curve is so easy. You can get started immediately.
Correct. And that was something which we kind of had a very strong like a principle for us, that the UX should be so simple that our parents, like my parents, can use it. That was kind of our litmus test, that if they can use it, then it's a great product. And then obviously ChatGPT came, and again, as I mentioned, AI has been there, but what kind of made it super super successful was the simple interface, that a single line, a, a box where you can ask anything and it starts talking. That became the UX of that became the turning point for that. It became the fastest ever product to reach 100 million users. Uh, Amazing. So that kind of principle kind of stayed in our head and saying, how can we make a product so simple? Now, while building Decipher, we spoke to probably 200, 300 businesses, business owners, people who were using Decipher or are using Decipher, and kind of started talking to them and understanding their problems. Now, while building and solving their content problem, we started realizing there are bigger or fundamental problems in the workflows or processes which have a higher impact or a major impact to the business, what do you say, operations. Like on daily basis, they are suffering that pain. The data comes in one format, it's in a PDF format. Someone sits through, reads the PDF, and that enters into the case management system or a CRM system. Now, because we had built Decipher, because we had done some of those early works, we realized that there are so many workflows of these which could be automated or be added into the workflow of businesses, which can help them move faster, remove those repetitive tasks. And that's what the genesis of AI2Easy came. That can we help business processes where it's already, what you can do with it. And the name AI2Easy came from that. Let's make AI easy and super easy. Again, the UX, that simple process, you're putting something in here and it's coming out and it's adding. You're not changing your workflows. You're not changing your tools, which you're comfortable with email. You can just type in an email address, which is your AI system, and talk to it and it'll respond to that. So those understanding those workflows and that UX, which people are comfortable with, then pushing that along. So that's how the name AI2Easy came.
Beautiful. And the name itself is so easy, right? AI2Easy.
Yes.
Beautiful. That's a good story. I'm keen to understand, as you were talking to those 200, 300 businesses, what were the top problems that you identified and then started working on the platforms? So it'd be good to know about a couple of problems and how both the AI tools are solving those problems.
Absolutely. Uh, Decipher, obviously, we know uh, the fundamental problem is that mm, there's so much of data hidden in your videos and audios. There's so much information there, and there's not many tools which can understand that in that semantic level, and then use it for whether you have your client meetings. Assume you have a client and you are having a weekly meeting with them. After a month, after a couple of months, amount of information you have gathered in those meetings is amazing. Now, assume you're writing a new proposal for that client or for sending a. Wouldn't it be amazing to use all that information which you had to then help you understand what the previous challenge was, what the new challenge is, or what kind of information they care about, whether they care about privacy, whether they care about security, what do they care about, speed, UX, all those contexts. Now, when you're writing your new proposal, use that information to help you write that. That is amazing, and that's how the whole Decipher workflow works. That it builds your knowledge base of all the audio, video, and documents, so that when you're doing something next, it allows you to use your past knowledge and information to help you to find that. So that is the most common problem Decipher is solving. On AI, on the consulting or the common business problems, it's data. Data is all over the place, and it's multiple systems which they don't talk to each other. And having that single layer of knowledge which can understand that data and then help you answer. For example, most common is, in an e-commerce world, it's very common. Where is my order is a common email or a customer request which comes in. And right now, most of the businesses have a person, a customer support agent who looks at it and then responds, your order will be here.
Yes.
And if they don't respond, the customer satisfaction starts going drop. If it's more than 24 hours, 48 hours, there's a second email already about that same thing. Where is my order? I have been following it up, right? Now, think of it as this information is already in an auto management system, whatever your ERP or your inventory management system you're using. What if you had a simple layer on top of that, which understands the query and can access your data and respond to that in an automatic manner? How simple would that life of that customer agent will be? He or she can then focus on trickier, complex queries where you need to manage the refunds, or they need to exchange few things, or they need to have a very complex workflow which AI doesn't understand yet. And that's the value add of what business workflows you can add.
Very good. That's a very good example. So that brings me to another question where the tools that you're using, are they for any specific industry or they're industry agnostic?
Most of the time, they're industry agnostic. There are obviously every industry has their own kind of regulations, and like healthcare, you in the data sovereignty becomes very important, that you cannot leave the data of Australian soil. So making sure the LLMs you are using or the tools you're using are residing within the Australian data centers.
Yeah.
But other than that, mostly the tools are industry agnostic. What you're saying is you're bringing unstructured data from someplace, whether it's in your SharePoint, Google Drives, PDFs, and you're understanding them and building a knowledge base which can then be queried or used to build your workflows on top of there.
Good.
So that part is pretty agnostic to any industry. And we're working across multiple industries. So yep.
Okay. So from the time the customers decide to take your product to the point where they say, now I'm getting a good response and I'm happy with, I don't know what accuracy benchmark could be in your eyes or from the customer's eyes. How much time does that take?
It depends, but what we are, because of pre-built modules or things which have been already done, what we are trying to say, instead of instead of going 6 months, 9 months project, which were the previous norms, we are kind of squeezing it to 12 to 16 weeks, saying
Wow.
you can start seeing benefits ROI of 20, 30, 40% within 12 to 16 weeks. And the reason is very, like you mentioned, very well defined what the success looks like. If you think as a business owner, you have 20% uplift of productivity in one of your teams, that's a massive boost, right?
It is.
So instead of saying we will reach 80% and then only we'll say we have achieved ROI, doesn't make sense. So very up on defining what your success looks like, those KPIs, and then saying how quickly can we reach there. That's why 12 to 16 weeks is quite possible now.
Beautiful. That leads me to another question, which is when the business owners or the CIOs or CEOs come and discuss with you, what is the top agenda? Is it reduction of workflow or workforce or improvement of efficiency? I'm sure this is a question that many people would ask you.
Yes, absolutely. So we are, I think, no way in so far in couple of years of implementing AI, there hasn't been a reduction of workforce ever yet. It has always been augmentation of the workflows. So the way we are looking at it, and we are saying this upfront, that the tools we are building is for augmenting your human workforce. So what that means is we are giving them the tools which can make their life easier and better. We have an instance where one of the the back office lady, she had tears in her eyes when she saw the solution. And this is a real story.
Wow.
What she had to do was whenever a new document for a case injury used to come, she had to open the document, understand what it is, and then rename it in a proper catalog manner, like initials, date of arrival, it's an incoming document, and medical certificate, initials, date of incoming thing, X-ray. What we did was when we just added a step before this whole process where an AI used to get the document, open it up, understand what that document is, and rename that automatically. And the only thing she had to do was just read, confirm with within a workflow, just confirm, yep, this is, and 90% of the time it was perfect. Only 10% of the time she had to change the initials or change something. That was it. She almost had a couple of tears when we showed them all that, and she said, this is because it was hard for her, and doing this daily above every day for a long time, it's stressful for the person as well.
Stressful, boredom creeps in.
Correct.
That's it.
And then you have mistakes.
Exactly. So, Nikhil, what level of accuracy have you reached? Is there a range, or you can confidently say that, look, now we have reached 90, 95%?
See, it's very hard to put a general number to any of these things,
Yeah.
because every task is very different. For example, we're doing a podcast, and the transcription which will happen, which means that AI will take this audio and convert that Abhi said this, Nikhil said this, and have that. That has reached a very high accuracy rate. We are at around 95, 96%, where the word error count is, 10 or 12 out of 100. So that is a very high. But again, add a little bit of noise, add a bit of accent. You're on a phone call, that accuracy starts dropping, right? So then you need to do a clean of audio first, try to remove as much noises as possible, then bring in the audio and then do a transcription. You will still. So very, very hard to say a general number, but what we are saying is 20 to 30% uplift of productivity is gone nowhere. Like there are so many workflows at the moment which can be just uplifted very easily. And that's where the low hanging fruits are. Once you achieve that, then you will start worrying about whether it's 90, 95, or 99.
That makes sense. That really makes sense. So again, I'll circle back to our discussion where you had a chat with so many businesses
Yep.
across Australia. Once you summarized, once you had a view of what they wanted, what were the few steps you took to bring your AI ideas to life?
See, I think one of the things which we did was pick up. Obviously, there are multiple problems. You cannot solve all the problems. You have to pick your own niche. So, two or three things which we did. One, what are the problems which you are happy to solve for next 3 to 5 years minimum, right? That's I every day you wake up and you're happy to think about that problem and solve that problem. If you are ready to do that, then that's a tick, right? Second, how complex or how easy is that problem? The more you're heading towards the complexity, the better it is, because then you have a bigger uh, mode, if you can think of, or bigger value add, because you're solving a harder problem. So it's harder for someone else who comes up with a similar idea and wakes up on a Friday morning and says, I coded this over the weekend, and Monday morning he or she has the similar solution. That becomes a little harder. So that was another thing. And third, how crowded is that market? So for example, AI in marketing, there's like many companies are there which are trying that, because it's marketing, sales. So there's a lot of crowd. So we thought of what. So once you have those three in your head and you can do a little bit of research on that, that's when you can make a an informative guess that this might be the one where you might succeed, or you might make it a shot. You never know which one, whether the decision was right or not, but that's where we are on the journey.
Exactly. Nikhil, you have been an entrepreneur for a long time. You were into software development,
Yes.
and then you moved to AI, and not just one AI. It's two different platforms you developed.
Yep.
You make it sound easy, but actually it's not. So, what are the challenges you have faced as an entrepreneur, and how do you overcome them?
Yes, absolutely. To be honest, I have had those moments where I thought, you know, let's go back to the 9 to 5 world. At least there's fixed income. There's gonna be salary for things. Yeah. So yeah, no, I it's not easy for sure. I can assure you that. Whoever says it's easy, it's not. Uh, uh, what I think few things obviously help. Support from family is always a massive. Garima has been instrumental in pushing me and supporting me, and and kids as well. They have sacrificed almost never of our vacations, whether it's in India or anywhere else, has been a non-working holiday. I've always had my phone and laptop along with me, where I have gone on calls while they were doing things. Uh, so they have sacrificed as well, and Garima has been obviously instrumental. I think something which I realized, and this has been over a period of time, has been reflecting, is what I enjoy is when I speak to a business and understand their problem, and then we are able to solve that. That process is what provides me my energy. It brings back me the energy. It like revitalizes me, and that has been, once I realized that, that was my turning point and saying, yep, this is what I love doing, and this is what I will be doing.
That's amazing. Um, I also wanted to know, you mentioned about going back to 9 to 5. So always have that self-doubt.
Yes.
How do you overcome that? It's just so hard to wake up in the morning and to kind of bring back to the sense that I have to build something. I'm here for a change.
I to be honest, it's not gone. I still feel I have that jitters every now and then, that are we doing the right thing? Are we on the right direction? Are we It's not easy. Then I look at, look at the, mm, I look at inspirational stories from folks who are in the Silicon Valley, who are doing things and they have built things. And one thing which you realize is it's grit and perseverance. And, kind of you back yourself and say, well, if they can do it, you can do it. Yeah, so it's not easy, to be honest. There are, I've, I have my own doubts every day.
You know. And who are your role models? Who do you follow, and you know,
Uh,
who do you listen to?
Oh, well, on tech side, I listen to a lot of people, OpenAI, obviously, Sam Altman,
Mm.
Andrej. On Jeff Bezos, he has been reading his, things of how he built his empire. Uh, Nowadays, I listen to a lot of Nikhil Kamath, who does
Oh,
this podcast, is amazing. He goes into a lot of detail about
he does.
how, especially the one recently with Vinod Khosla. That was very,
Yeah, I heard.
very, yeah, very
Amazing,
yeah,
amazing
I mean,
podcast. Yeah.
yeah, I loved it. Uh, I thought I'll start with 15 minutes, but kind of going whole way up till an hour. Yeah, so I think yeah, so I spend a lot of time trying to understand the perspectives and angles, and especially of Vinod, he had some amazing insights of uh, you know why should you keep going? What are your big swings which you're making? What are the things which keeps you going, and kind of resonated what we are talking now, that
Yeah,
complex things. Yep, let's go, try hard. If we change, we change. If not, then also at least we gave a shot.
exactly. And do you have a mentor in Australia? Someone you talk to regularly?
Not not on a regular basis, but I have been very lucky that I had. I was youngest in my family, so I had very amazing mentors in my family. Uh, as my parents, my brother, sister, and my cousins. So I've been very lucky to have them as my mentors who keep, whom I keep talking to, and some of them have become pretty successful in their own journeys. So that has been my kind of go-to people whom I go and talk about things.
Are you mentor to someone?
I Yes, I put conscious effort of being part of communities where I can be a mentor. I am doing mentorship to startups via StartMate, through my college alumni, to a lot of startups in that in from my college. So yes, I try to be as much possible where I can give. Yes. So yes, answer is yes.
Great. You come from businessman family or
No, I was the first one in my family to start a business.
which makes it even harder?
Yes, absolutely. For everyone in the family to understand and understand the challenges and support in different ways. So yes,
Look, you do have tremendous support from Garima,
yes,
and for the audience, Garima is life partner, business partner, and Garima also runs an amazing podcast channel called AI2Easy. So do find time to have a look at it. She's also trying to bring some good stories by bringing profound guests on her podcast. So do make sure you listen to it. Talking about failures, Nikhil, I love to talk about failures.
yes, absolutely.
Is there any particular failure that comes to your mind that has had a huge impact on you, positive or negative, and what it did to you? If you're comfortable answering that question.
Yeah, no, well, to be honest, I have had multiple failures over a long period of time. Uh, Uh, and business wise, we have had deals not go through, deals fallen through, projects not materializing. Uh, and the reason I kind of realized is, and this is after, you do a lot of introspection, and, it's devils in the detail, high level, like a lot of people on YouTube say, you're building a new solution is easy. It takes, 2 days, 3 days, and you can, have a app out and ready. So it's only when you start going in the detail and starting understanding the edge cases, the challenges, the security, the privacy, the payments, the workflows. There's so much, and there were times when I kind of thought the team was ready, or the team had the ownership, and I kind of moved on to something else, or got busy with something else. And uh, no, it's you, it's your ownership. You are the one who's finally responsible, no one else. So you got to take the final call, and you have to have that ownership and understanding of details. So that was a lesson which I have learned quite a few times, and hard ways, which has impacted in multiple ways. So yes, I would say that's one major learning from that failure.
And did that make you stronger?
Stronger and more, I would say, I kind of spend a little more time thinking about things now. I became more reflective of, more introspective and reflective of how I do things.
Yeah, great. Um, you mentioned about a lady who almost had tears in the eyes
Yes.
after she saw what your platform can do. Would you have one, two more stories that you would want to share with the guest? I think that was quite an interesting part of how you are solving the real world problems
Yes.
and how people are excited about it.
Yes, absolutely. I think if you understand the almost all of Australia understands strata.
Yes.
Uh, the amount of work which goes into managing a strata is quite challenging, and then there needs to be reporting done for that. So very recently, we built a product, a workflow again, where you can dump in all the documents which is strata related, from your meeting minutes to your inspection reports to your insurance documents, all different formats, different kinds. And then what it does is it builds a knowledge base, understands that, and then generates a report for you, extracts the financial analysis for you. Here's your sync fund. Here's when your next levi is due. Here's what your insurance is due, and puts it in all in a structured reporting manner. This amount of details, they're doing 40 reports now already with this platform. And previously, it used to take them a day, close to a day, to kind of build this report using this. And now it takes the platform 15 minutes, and then reviewing and updating it for another half an hour, and
That's
they're
it.
ready. That's it.
What a time saved.
Amazing. And they're like, they're already saying, what else can we do now?
But if you think about it, this has opened doors for pretty much every startup out there, and it is one of the core businesses that is running in Australia.
Exactly. So those are the kind of unlocks which you can start seeing. Uh, yeah, case management for insurance. When someone gets injured in at a workplace, they need to manage the workers' comp. The amount of documentation, interviews, all that goes through in the back end operations is massive. We're working with a business to streamline that. I will next time when I come, I'll tell you the amount of numbers they saved there.
Oh, look forward to. But so my takeaway from that is what essentially AI is doing is it is making organizations more efficient,
Yes,
which means they can go to the next level of efficiency and be creative, which today may not be possible because there's so much manual work going in.
absolutely.
Beautiful, great examples.
Yep.
What excites you the most about the future of AI in the next 5 to 10 years?
Actually, sometimes I feel scared that it's becoming so good, but I think uh, I think the way I've seen GPT from when it launched a few years ago to GPT-5, which was launched recently. If you understand the IQ, maybe it started at an IQ of 40, and now it's at around 150. A PhD level
Yes.
IQ. If you think of the exponential way it's going, so you are basically going to see the knowledge and the reasoning and the way it's going to answer things is going to be amazing. So that's now proven. what's missing in in the LLMs or the foundational models at the moment is context. Like, you know me and I know you. We have the context of who Abhinav is and who Nikhil is. And that is how our brains work, because of our interactions, because how, our five senses, what we are seeing, what we are listening, all is going in our, in our brain and building those neuron connections. That is missing at the moment in the AI,
Yeah.
right? So 5 to 10 years, I think it's going to become multimodal and it starts understanding those nuances and also start storing that information in a way that when you ask question, it knows who Abhinav is the same way I know Abhinav, because it has heard and understood your conversations in ways which is not possible today. So that's where I'm imagining.
That's a great example of what AI is still expected to do in the next couple of years. Look, there's so much noise around AI.
Yes.
Everything looks positive. There are a few negative things as well. What are the common myths about AI that people are seeing, youngsters are seeing, and they should stop believing in what the real AI looks like and what those myths are?
Oh, absolutely. There's quite a few, myths, and people are drumming up wrong information on YouTube, especially TikToks and YouTube Shorts, that it can change everything. It can solve all your problems. No, it cannot. So it's not a magic wand. One, you got to invest time in AI. Just like and the best example I always try to bring it is to how, as humans, we work. And the more you can bring to that and philosophy, the better it is for us to understand. So when you onboard an employee, again, let's assume you're onboarding a 150 IQ PhD in your business, and you ask him or her to do some work. They'll go and do an amazing work, but would it resonate with how your business runs? No, right? They would have done the way they have learned some things, and they would have done in their way. What would it take for us to bring them and understand how our business works and do the task which is being given in the way our business does it? That's what you need to do with AI as well. So you got to understand that AI is a smart intern or employee. Now you have to tell him or her how to bring what your business is, how does it work, what are the policies, what are the guardrails, what are the frameworks, what's the brand, what's the reputation, all of those things around it. And then you onboard them and say, now if you do a task, it'll fit within our system and it'll give you value. So you need to invest time in AI to make it work for you. It's not an open the box and starts working. For a few things, yes, but most of the times when you're looking at for a business, it's not.
Yeah. Do you think AI is going to make college education irrelevant?
Irrelevant is it's going to transform for sure. And why I say that is, if you look at a classroom today where 40 students who understand and learn in a different manner being taught in the same way, that's going to change for sure. You Someone is very visual and they understand things more visually. Someone has a short attention span and they can learn differently. Someone is a more reader and they want to read things. Someone is more, they go on a whiteboard, and everyone has a different way of learning and understanding things. Now bring AI into this. We couldn't do this before because it was, think of a college where they had 20 different teachers to teach the same topic in different ways. That's not financially viable for the college to do that. But bring AI into this picture and say, can I have a little personalized teacher who can help the students do a little bit of this support where they can understand in the way they understand? That enhances what the teacher is telling, what the professor is saying, and also giving you support there. So that ecosystem is going to evolve, but there's always place for a mentor or a physical teacher, because this that's where you can go and have that one-on-one conversation, and have that trust, and that relationship which you won't be having with that support assistant, AI. But yeah, the ecosystem is going to change for sure.
AI is today complementing our work.
Yes.
Do you see it competing against humans at some point?
In 20-30 years, yeah. Maybe after that, when there's enough power, there's enough chips, enough humanoids, maybe, but not in our, not in short, not in a decent horizon.
Let's address the elephant in the room. There's a lot of negative news around AI taking over jobs.
Mhm.
Companies are overreacting by getting rid of employees. In the anticipation, they have a beautiful system out there who can come up with the best solution they've ever had.
Mhm.
Is firing all over.
Yep.
So, what are the essential skills that
Do you want to go back, start, and because we can cut it?
Yeah, we can start again. So, Nikhil, let's address the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
There's a lot of negative news about companies firing employees. And they have this vision of using AI to be more efficient with less employees.
Yep.
We are yet to see the real impact of that, whether it makes the companies efficient. But that doesn't take away the fact that certain skills we should start acquiring from today.
Yes.
In your view, what are those skills that youngsters or the professionals who are still not exposed to AI should start acquiring to be relevant in this AI-empowered future?
Yeah, that's a great question, and I agree. That's the elephant in the room. I think one thing which I would, and this is I'm gonna, it's a controversial statement which I'll say. A lot of companies are using AI as their, as the bluff to, lay off. Uh, it's not AI, maybe. It's their own, restructuring or whatever they're doing. They're just using the name of AI at the moment. So uh, I think definitely everyone, starting from folks who are starting their career, starting their are students or in the university or even employed professionals. Let's make one thing very clear: AI is here to stay, and it's gonna be a tool which you will have to master in different ways to make yourself valuable for businesses. If two candidates come and one says, here's what I've done already, here are things which I've tried, here's some workflow which I built for helping the problem of your business, for example a recruitment company, or I have used ChatGPT to scan the resumes, and here is a workflow which I quickly built to do a job description match and a resume match, and it tells me on a rough way which are the top three candidates I should reach out to, right? Compared to someone who says, I have been reading the resumes and I know the job description and I do it manually. Obviously, you're going to pick someone who has that kind of a workflow where it's augmenting the recruitment staff to do that work for you. So I completely, agree to learn and utilize and be curious of what AI tools are around you, what can you do, what workflows can make your life right now simple by using those tools. Once you get the hang of that, then you start seeing, okay, this is how I solve my problem. Now when I know at another place, oh, okay, I can do a pattern match and say, this is how I did here, this is what I can do here. So I think that's going to be very, very critical. There's no second thoughts about that.
And what about people who are not technical?
Doesn't matter. The best part about AI is that's what it's democratizing. It's giving everyone, you, me, a tech guy or a non-tech guy, a box where I can ask a question and have a conversation and understand about any topic in the way I want to learn. I can ask a question, explain as a 5-year-old, explain me as a high school student, explain me in a way, I'm a PhD, I'm doing my research and I understand the details of this. Explain me in a way, this topic where I can go into the details and cross question and reason about it. So it's very it has democratized this information flow in a way where everyone can learn, just not the one who is has spent 1,000 hours on this topic. I can learn that topic as well now.
Nikhil, I hear a lot of stories about youngsters starting companies valued at $1 million, $1 billion. The other day, I was listening to someone who is a high school dropout, started a company at 17, became a billionaire, company valued at $1 billion at 24. However, such stories are far and few. What is your advice to youngsters who have this, itch of starting their own business, but have no idea where to start? What would you suggest? And
It's one. It's a great idea to start a business. Obviously, uh, what to build, and the most, if you spend a little time and think through of how a business becomes successful, there are two or three main factors which make a business successful, right? You're solving a problem. So why you could solve that problem was because either you were part of that industry, you saw it was in your family, you saw you were working in that place, you spend enough time talking to those people to understand that problem in depth, right? And that's where it comes in depth. I know if you and I talk to ChatGPT for 5 minutes, we can say, yeah, I understand law, right? But that's very superficial understanding of law. What are the actual challenges of a lawyer who's working with the cases on a daily basis? That's next level. You have to spend enough time to understand that. Now, if you want to go build a solution for a lawyer, and you have no clue what their business problems or challenges are, good luck. You're not gonna get get anywhere until you are ready to invest next 100, 200, 500 hours working and understanding their problems and then working with them. So pick your niche is in a way saying that what do you enjoy doing, nobody has told you to do anything, right? If it's sports, if it's books, if it's YouTube videos, whatever, and then find areas where you can help businesses in that area. Now you have a niche, you have a business. Now okay, this is a problem area where I'm thinking, and then you're talking. And the more and more you talk to people, be curious, understand the problems at a level where you can start thinking, and then build something, try it out, give it to a few friends, family, try them out, and say whether it's valuable for them. Once you have that loop ready, you try those loop few times, then you are getting into that mindset of an entrepreneur, which is saying, my whole aim of me is solving a problem where I solve a problem for $1, but I can sell it for $2. That's the whole loop which you're building. The more you can build that at a small scale, once you understand that loop, then you can bring it to a bigger loop and then a bigger one. And that's how you build multi-million-dollar businesses.
and this is interesting because what you said essentially boils down to the fact that the youngsters should get an opportunity to be exposed,
Yes,
whether it's through internship
absolutely.
or being able to know the right people like you. Have you ever thought about running, subject to availability of time, running these kind of programs for youngsters where you kind of build that ecosystem? Australia needs more and more entrepreneurship. We're not like US or India where there's a huge ecosystem for startups.
Yes.
Have you ever thought about being a catalyst to build that ecosystem?
Yes and no. So we tried internships as well at our business as well. And the reason I became mentor to some of these institute was that whole idea to provide that thing. But having the 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 challenge or an opportunity is, it needs to be a little, because when a student or a person is coming and giving you that valuable time of theirs, you have a responsibility to give value back to them, right? And if you don't, if you are not able to have that structure or give them that value back, it kind of defeats the whole purpose. So having a little more structured process around that, and then being able to do it in a more structured manner, we would love to do that, but no, to be honest, we haven't been able to do that yet. But definitely that's something which we have been kind of striving a little bit here and there, but not in a structured manner.
Who knows, you might launch another platform in 2 years' time, which builds those skills.
No, we definitely we've been in talks with a couple of universities as well to see how can we support their entrepreneurship programs for young adults. But yeah, it's still nothing which is as a structured program where I could say, come work, join us.
Nice. Nikhil, if you could go back in time, what is that one piece of advice slash advices you would give yourself?
Quite a few advisors actually. I have a long list.
Let's use top three.
Right. Be curious and learn a lot. Be more curious and learn even more. Like that's the learning and the curiosity takes you places. I would definitely be saying that. Uh, it sounds cliche, but uh, don't run after money when you're very early. I did that. I joined, a corporate for the job and stayed there. Uh, uh, then third, I think don't be afraid of putting hard work. There's hard work is the base. There's nothing discipline and hard work. There's nothing else which will take you forward. Knowledge, IQ, talent, all is great, but if there's no hard work, none of them matters. So
Nice. Nikhil, what are some of your habits that you want to share with the younger population that help you build um, your personality as an entrepreneur, and which you consistently also try to do?
the way I've kind of structured the I wouldn't say habits, and I'm still improving. I'm not perfect. Mind, body, and soul. I kind of break it into three. For soul, I try to do a meditation. I try every day meditation, which helps my soul. For mind, I'm curious. I learn a lot. I'm still as I mentioned, I love learning about new things, new technology. Listen to amazing people and then learn from their systems. So that's for my and I love solving problems. I still go out and solve you know hard problems. So that gives me that thing. For body, I and that's something which I have to improve. Healthy habits of eating and exercising. I'm still building those. Not amazing at exercising. That's something which I need to, but I'm trying.
Nice. My other question would be, how do you define success? And how has the definition changed from the time you started to today?
I think when I started off, success was earning more money, having a better salary, having a little more materialistic things. That was what initial success was for me when I was probably starting off, to be honest. Uh, but then as I matured and as I understood, I think my definition of success now is how many what kind of a business we are building and how many businesses are we helping solve and improve their business things, and that is the definition of success. We're working pro bono for some of the businesses as well, because we really don't financials, yes, important to run a business in a normal way, but we do pro bono work for a lot of businesses which have a very important social cause associated to them, and we have built a product for a business where they help managing the storage of old people who build a solution workflow for them. So yeah, so for us now it's more how many businesses can we support and help them realize the benefits of this.
Networking is a very important part of life, whether it's business or job.
Yes.
Uh, we talked about mentors, we talked about people around us.
Yep.
The good news is because of many platforms, there's an opportunity to know if there's an event happening for these startups.
Correct.
And I believe we should not wait till the time we get into some job or we start a business. What can young people start doing, let's say from uni itself, to get a first hand idea of how do the founders think, what their challenges are? Is there any suggestion you have so that you never know, they may end up finding some mentors for themselves, because some of the successful people out there, they owe it to their mentors, and the
Yep.
mentor could be a father or your
Absolutely.
ex-boss or whoever.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
that, how do they start working on building this social ecosystem for themselves?
Yeah, to be honest, I'm an introvert by nature, so networking wasn't my cup of tea as well. So whatever advice I'm giving, I've kind of pushed myself as well on those parts. I think we touched about this few times, but I think meeting and listening and then talking to people who have been on this journey. So if you're assuming you're in the law industry and you're going and meeting the partner or the founders of a law business, and just having a quick coffee catch up and just asking, what did you do when you were at my age, or what were your learnings, or being curious about their journey, and just learning and absorbing what they're saying, and then bringing and building a journal of that. That itself is 10 steps ahead of half 90% of the people. You have LinkedIn today. The only thing you need to do is go and search for law firms in Sydney, connect. I'm a student at UTS. I'm a student at Macquarie. I would love. I'm doing a law course, and I would love to have a coffee, half an hour coffee whenever you have time. I would be more than happy and learn. I'm learning more about how you went on this journey. That is invaluable. That tells them that you are interested in knowing about them. And most of them say yes, because just like you asked me whether you would be happy to do this at some everyone wants to do it. It's just that they don't have that, the time, but someone asks, they say, yeah. 9 out of 10 times you will get a yes. Go out, speak to them. You have now, a little more knowledge about the real world. And, once you have that relationship, maybe you never know when they looking for a paralegal or an internship, they will say, oh, I remember I met Nikhil. Let me ask him if he or she is interested in doing this. Doors unlocked. So it's you who has to knock the doors. Most of the times, and this is something which I learned, most of the times we don't ask.
Yes.
If you ask, 9 out of 10 times you will get it. And
Very-
I coming from India, we are very, I would use the word, not not as outgoing as I was. So me asking I was very hesitant. But now I've learned that it's okay to ask. The only thing, what worse can happen? It'll say no. That's all. Right? You are not doing anything wrong. So
yeah,
yeah,
that's a
that's an amazing thing which I've learned of.
very good insight. Your kids are extrovert or introvert?
Um, it, yeah, probably extra
Extrovert.
towards the extrovert side.
Okay. What is your favorite AI tool?
Uh, Claude Code and Perplexity at the moment. I cannot live without them.
And why do you say so?
Perplexity has changed the way I search and consume information. So I don't use Google anymore. So I'm pretty much on Perplexity if I need to know. The thing what it does is it kind of like how Google used to bring you 5 pages and then you go to each page and then you infer the information.
Yeah.
Perplexity is doing that for you. It's bringing all the information, condensing it, and giving you all its pros and cons. And then you ask, can you compare this to, and it'll provide you that kind of a structure. And it's not making up information. It's not hallucinating because it's grounding all that information from all those 3 or 4, 5 websites. So that Claude Code for my development. Things like when I'm reviewing someone's code, when I'm building a small tool or I'm trying something, it it's like having a small junior engineers on my team whom when I can can you build this web page? I want to try this out. Or can you do some data analysis on this and come back to me? I do that, and then 15 minutes later, I have something which gives me the the building blocks of what I want to actually do.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. I've met a founder a few days back. This guy created 3 SaaS platforms
Wow.
in 3 months
Amazing.
using Claude.
Yeah.
And when I challenged him, he said, okay, let me do something for you. Give me some idea.
Yeah.
I'm going to generate UI in less than 5 minutes.
Wow.
So I kept saying something or the other. By the time my dabbling was done,
There was something ready.
something ready. The UI was ready.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal.
Yes. Yeah. That's why I cannot live without it now.
I know. Nikhil, the other question is, look, AI is everywhere. It is going to be at a lot of places in our business or work or personal life. But do you feel there will be some industries where AI may not touch at all, or it will be a light touch?
Really highly regulated industries. Yes. I was talking to a journalist, and they mentioned when the elections happen, or the not elections. They mentioned when the budget happens,
Mhm.
they are not allowed to use any machine which has internet on it. So it's kind of within that. They're given a room, and they need to be all the information is coming from the budget and only in that particular room, because it's not being published yet. So they cannot, so using, this those kind of industries, maybe. And then obviously there we are far away from where humanoids can work for us. So massive electrical engineering jobs, plumbing, electrical, HVACs, all those where there's a property, there's a lot of craft and human involvement of power and those things. Yeah, is still far away there. What it's helping them is to manage the schedules, manage the dispatching, routing,
The
regular automations of supply chain management, and whether the work is being done on time or not, compliance, whether they are wearing a hazmat thing, are they wearing a hat or not, but the actual work is still being done by staff and people. So that's still a way far-fetched.
There's a joke about it. I asked one of the founders the same question. I said, look, AI cannot come and change the tap for me.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
still need someone to come over. So there's still a lot of manual
Ah,
activities that, but who knows, he might be learning better ways. Developing around it. So, Nikhil, again, look, I'm really finding this conversation very inspiring. Is there any book or a resource or any TED talk that you want to tell the audience they should listen to and be inspired? Something that left an impression, a deep impact on you.
yeah, I think so as well. Simon Sinek, he's amazing.
He's amazing.
His 5 circle of influence, the whys, is just mind blowing. Everyone should kind of read that. On the book side, thinking in systems, or systems thinking, I can't remember the name, but that tells you of how to break a problem into components. And that has been very useful for me from very beginning. I never knew that that's what it is. But when I was preparing for my IIT, all my cousins and sisters who got through, the way they taught me was, here's a problem, read it, find the problem, break it up into, build a picture, break up into problems, what you know, what you don't know, what's the input, what's the output. If you can tell this for any question, you're pretty much halfway done, right? So that was the kind of way I was taught from the very beginning. That if you can explain the question in a manner where you can define what are the inputs, here are the assumptions, here are the constants, this is what we want to extract, or this is what the output should be. And what should be the unit of that output? If you can go there, that's amazing. So you're telling that it's force, so it should be in Newton, or it's in acceleration, it should be this, right? So if you can do that, you have already solved half of the problem. Most of the people cannot do that, right? So that's how my way of system thinking started. But as I got submerged into software development, it became more evident that a complex problem of how a web page is rendered, when you break it up into pieces of what happens behind the scenes, there's an API call which goes, the backend does this, it goes to the database. Now, when you say something is not working, most of the people, yeah, okay, let's fix it. My way of approaching the problem was, let's break down what all systems are involved till where we know the problem has been, you know, bucketized or, isolated. Is it on this side? Is it on the database side? And that kind of started becoming the way I started building and thinking things. And then when I read that book, it kind of brought the whole perspective of even the world or normal life, like how things can be broken up into smaller systems and components and then bring it together. That became my way of doing things. So, yeah.
And that is directly related to the term you used a few minutes back, curiosity. You can only get to that extent, to the grains of it, when you are curious.
Correct. Yes.
Nikhil, I'm really enjoying this, but unfortunately, we are almost come to the end of
All right.
discussion. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
So, the youngsters or the audience who is listening to our conversation, if they could go back and take one action, what would that one action be?
Embrace AI, learn, be curious, and do a lot of learning and experimentation with AI tools. It's going to take you to places and learning to the next level.
Thanks a lot, Nikhil. It was a pleasure having you, and I hope the audience found this really fruitful.
Thank you so much.
If today's conversation with Nikhil has taught us anything, it's that AI isn't just about technology, it's about possibility. It's about solving problems faster, working smarter, and opening doors that didn't even exist a few years ago. Whether you are a student learning your first skill, a professional navigating career changes, or a parent guiding your child, understand AI is no longer optional, it's essential. Nikhil, thank you for showing us what is possible when vision meets action. And to everyone listening, take what you have learned today, experiment, explore, and most importantly, stay curious. Until next time, keep learning, keep experimenting, and keep believing in the power of AI to make a difference. See you in the next episode. Thank you.